Do you recall the interview that Alec Baldwin did in December of 2021 regarding the death of Helena Hutchins on the movie set where Alec Baldwin was rehearsing and a firearm went off? During that interview, Alec Baldwin said that he did not pull the trigger.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them, never.
And that's been bothering me. And the reason is that I have an antique firearm from my collection, and I know that that's just not possible. So I want to demonstrate to you why I just do not think that Alec Baldwin's story makes sense. So let's take a look at this. I just happen to have this firearm that was built or manufactured in the late 1870s. I bought it from a gun dealer, and he represented to me that this was a Colt with a Springfield Armory, some sort of refurbished, and during the time period that these numbers matched up with weapons that were issued to officers in the Battle of Little Bighorn. That was the one where George Custer got slaughtered. Anyway, I don't know the complete history of it, and I'm not claiming to be a gun expert. All I know is I thought it was a cool antique. But what's interesting about this? Well, here's the firearm, as you can see. This is where you would load the round, the cartridge in there. And to expel the cartridge, there's this little pin down here. You would push it and you would push it out. And you could rotate it one round at a time. All right? See how you can do that? You can move it around. But what's interesting is that if you wanted to just pull the trigger on this, you could, but it's pretty hard. And you could pull it back a little bit as well, and you could pull it, but it's really hard as well. But if you cock this all the way back and pull it, it goes quite easily. But what was bugging me was that I knew when Alec Baldwin stated that he said that he pulled the hammer back, but that he did not pull the trigger. And I thought, well, that just doesn't seem right. And so if you notice, you can't let the hammer go home unless you actually pull the trigger. Now you have to pull the trigger, and you can hold it with your thumb and let it go home gently. But as you can see, look, it's still ready to fire. And you would have to pull the trigger to let that go home. But you can't, you have to pull the trigger at various stages. And so there's no way that the firearm, and I'm not saying this is the exact firearm, this is a real antique firearm, that you could not just send the hammer home accidentally. It wouldn't just go off. You actually have to pull the trigger to release the hammer, which makes it why I think there's a problem with Alec Baldwin's story. Let me know what you think.